Welcome back, dear children. Now this is the second video on the same topic. That's a chapter 1, page number 5, 1.3.1, determinants of demand. In the previous video, we discussed about the 2 points. Now we are going to discuss remaining 4 points. Point number 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. So there are 5 points now to discuss. Let's take point number 3. We are discussing the determinants of demand. Determinants of demand means, in the previous video I have already told you. Some of the commodity we buy less and some of the commodity we buy more. Okay, why? These are the factors which are responsible that help us decide why and when do we buy more or less of a commodity. Point number 3, consumers' taste and preference. When we have a great liking for some commodity, irrespective of whether our income is less or more, irrespective of whether the commodity is cheaper or expensive, we happen to buy it. Okay. Meat eating people, those who has got meat eating habit, at least once in a day he will compromise with other product, but that particular commodity he will definitely buy, and hence the demand for such kind of commodity for him will definitely increase or will remain constant. Especially the person who takes liquor or the person who are chain smokers, okay, they never consider the price factor. Okay, whatever be the price, they cannot stop consumption. It is because of their taste and preference. Okay, so price, income doesn't play any factor here. Taste and preference. If you have a great liking for some like Coke, Fanta, many people have a habit of taking Coke on a hot day. They take bottles of Coke. Now they can't help. They are bound to take. Whether they have money or not, whether the commodity is cheap or expensive, because of the taste, they will definitely consume it. So the taste also is one factor that determines the demand for a commodity. Next is the price of the related goods. Now there are certain related goods. How do they play? How do they create demand, or how do they determine the demand? Before we understand, let us try to understand what are the related goods. The first is called substitute goods. Substitute goods are those goods, those pair of goods who perform the similar function and normally are not consumed together. One example of substitute good is tea and coffee. Tea and coffee is one example. They are substitute goods. Okay? They perform the same function but they are not consumed together. Tea, coffee, together we don't take. One example is tea and coffee. Okay? Very suitable and easy example. Now what will happen? We are learning about price of the related goods, tea and coffee. Say, what will happen to the demand of tea if the price of coffee rises? Try to understand this question. What will happen to the demand? What will happen to the demand of tea when the price of coffee rises? When the price of coffee rises, coffee has become expensive. So those who have been consuming coffee, they will stop consuming coffee and they will start consuming tea. Why? Because the price of tea has not increased, it is cheaper yet. Okay. So the price of one commodity is affecting the demand of another commodity. So sometimes the price of the related goods, these two are related goods, the price of one product will affect the demand for another product. This is one example I gave to you. Once again listen. If the price of coffee increases, coffee becomes very expensive, there will be many consumers who will quit consuming coffee. But they would definitely like to drink something. The price of coffee has increased, not that for tea. Tea is still cheaper. So those consumers who will stop consuming coffee, they will start consuming tea. So what will happen? The price of tea has affected the demand for the price of coffee has affected the demand for tea. Alright? Next is the complementary goods. Complementary goods refer to again the pair of products which are jointly demanded. Like, one example I will give you, car and petrol. Car and petrol. Can you ever think of buying this individually? If you don't have car, will you buy petrol? Or if you have car, can you drive it without petrol? You have to buy it jointly. These also affect the price of these set of product also affect each other. Like if the price of petrol increases, it will also affect car, the demand for car. If the price of petrol increases, then keeping a car will become expensive. If the price of petrol increases, keeping car becomes expensive. Hence the demand for car will decrease. Okay? So here these are related goods, and the related goods, the price of one commodity will affect the demand for another commodity. And hence this is also the determinants of the demand. Now if you have understood, let me move on to the next point called consumers' expectation. Consumers' expectation regarding a change in the price of the product. If I am expecting that the price of petrol will keep on increasing in the coming days, or if I am expecting that the price of car will increase in future, if I am expecting that the price of car will increase in the future, then what if I have a desire to buy one car, then shall I wait? If I have money in my pocket, shall I wait? Immediately I will go and order one, because if I don't do this, then I'll have to pay more, higher in future. So I'll be a loser. I'm expecting a rise in future in the price of a product, then presently I will create demand. But in case if I am expecting that the price of a particular commodity will fall in future, presently I will not create any demand. I will wait for the commodity, for the price to fall, and then I will buy, so that I will be a gainer. I will get that commodity at a cheaper price. So this expectation also plays an important role in determining the demand for a particular commodity. Now let's move on to the next point: consumers' credit facility. Credit facility. What happens, dear children? Normally, when we are living in a family, we shop from a shop. We do our shopping whole month from a shop, and then the following, at the beginning of the next month, we go and make the payment. Whole month we pay. In that case, do I have to, whenever I have to go to a market, and if I am getting on credit, does it make any difference to me whether I am buying 5 kg of rice or 1 bag of rice? Because I don't have to make any payment today. If the credit facility is available, instead of buying 5 kg, why not will I buy 1 bag of rice? It will become easy for me in future, isn't it? So, if the credit facility is available, the demand will be higher. But if the credit facility is not available, then I can buy only as much quantity of the commodity as my pocket would allow me to do. If I have limited money, then my shopping will be limited, because there is no credit facility. So demand will be less. But if I don't have money, but if the credit facility is available, even without having money, my demand will be higher. So it depends upon the credit facility. And the last point is demonstration effect. Demonstration means show off. Sometimes we buy some commodity not because we are rich, not because the commodity is cheaper, not because the product is good, but sometimes we buy the commodity to show off, to show other people that we belong to a different section in the society. We belong to the elite group. Okay? So when the price increases, when the, say, gold, the rich, very rich people, they don't buy gold. Why? Because they can afford to buy diamonds. But normal people, a middle class man, normally can't afford to buy diamonds. Very expensive. If the diamond becomes as cheaper as the gold, those people who have been earlier buying diamond, considering this as their status symbol, will stop buying, because every normal man would be able to buy gold. Just like they are buying gold, they would be able to buy diamond. But if the diamond becomes as expensive as if the gold becomes as expensive as diamond, then those people, those elite people who had not been buying gold because it was cheaper, they will start buying gold, because other people will stop buying gold. Okay, so because this is for show off, this is for demonstration effect, and because of this factor also, the demand is created. So these are, dear children, these are some of the factors that determines the demand of a commodity. I hope you like this video. If you have any doubt, please do contact me, text me, or ask me or make phone calls. We are always welcome for your queries. So thank you and take care of yourself.